Good evening, my friends. I wanted to pop on here and talk a little bit about why we are seeing this absolute mess of cold weather and very chilly and dangerous wind chills at times. This is a setup that we are watching. What feels like an Arctic air mass, a Canadian air mass actually, has been pushed our way, and this is why we are seeing those very chilly temperatures. This upper air mass is on the cooler side. That's an understatement. But to go along with it, it has been very, very windy, and that is what has really been the issue in terms of our wind chills these past couple of days. And right now, our air temperatures are still in the 20s and 30s and teens across the region, but feels like temperatures are much lower. We'll check on those in just a minute. Right now, Roanoke sitting at 25 degrees at those higher elevations. Hot Springs, it's 12 right now. The actual air temperature is 12. Lexington, 25. 22, Pulaski. Blacksburg is 22 as well, and Independence, 23. Now, the south side zone is a little bit warmer. Warmer feels like very relative term at this point. In the 30s right now, feels warmer. Right now, Danville 34 degrees. South Boston right at the freezing mark, as well as Alta Vista. Lynchburg 28, and Martinsville 31 degrees. So again, feels like 20 right now. The air temperature 25 in Roanoke, but the feels like temperature is 18 degrees already. Now at that higher elevation in Hot Springs, right now it is 6 below zero for that wind chill. And that's the number, again, that we get when we combine that air temperature and those wind speeds. So that brings us to the feels like temperature. This is our winter equivalent to the heat index in the summertime. Hot Springs, -6 right now. Now these numbers will be widespread single digits and even some below zero as we go towards Friday morning. And that's why we have been talking about these past couple of days, that Weather Authority alert day, because these are some dangerously cold conditions with these wind chills. If you're out and about and outside for any prolonged amount of time, there is a concern with frostbite when temperatures are this cold and wind chills are this chilly. So right now, our wind gusts are still howling. We're anywhere from 21 to 34 miles an hour for our current wind gusts. Roanoke sitting at a 23-mile-an-hour wind gust recently. And, of course, there's higher elevations in Hot Springs a little bit. The winds are a little bit higher, 34 miles an hour there, 27 miles an hour in Pulaski, Wytheville, 25. And this will continue overnight. It will be very gusty, and this will be the story Friday morning as well. But we will see a pattern shift eventually into the weekend. And that is when, rather into the weekend and beginning of next work week, our temperatures will feel at least a little bit warmer. We'll get a slight break as the direction of the flow shifts. We'll see more of a southerly flow, and that'll bring us to those warmer temperatures. Wind gusts this morning and throughout the past couple of hours. This is what we are looking at for where we were topping out. Rather, these are actually previous numbers. Disregard these. This graphic was not updated. But overall, what we're looking at for past wind gusts during the day today, saw about 47 miles an hour. That wind gust here in Roanoke as well as Wytheville, from what I can recall. Blacksburg around that number, still into the upper 30s and 40s where we topped out this past couple of hours. In terms of our future wind chill, future wind gusts, let's take a look at our future cast for this evening, what we're going to be feeling like these next couple of hours. Now, as we work our way into the overnight hours, by 10 o'clock tonight, it will already feel, by 10 o'clock, -1 in Hillsville, Floyd, and Hot Springs. It will feel like 12 degrees in Roanoke. Pulaski will feel like 3, as well as Blacksburg. Wytheville feeling like 2 degrees. So again, dangerously cold temperatures already at 10 o'clock. Now, Friday morning, this is where things are looking a little bit concerning, especially because of the time of day. 7 o'clock Friday morning. So this is about the time some of you will be heading out to work or school, headed out the door. It will feel like 3 below zero in Floyd County. Hillsville will feel like -3, as well as Hot Springs. Roanoke will feel like 10. Blacksburg and Pulaski both at that 2-degree mark for our feels like temperature. This is, again, 7 o'clock tomorrow morning. And this is where we see that concern for the potential frostbite. If you are standing outside, if you're standing outside at the bus stop waiting on the school bus, you need to be bundled up. You need to be dressed for these conditions. Again, wear that big puffer coat, the hat, the gloves, layers, lots of layers when we are seeing conditions like these, because this type of wind, and you've seen it these past couple days and experienced it, this will cut through. This will cut through you. So again, feels like temperatures Friday morning, single digits below zero. South side, you will be into the teens, as well as portions of the Lynchburg zone, Highlands, New River Valley, and portions of the Roanoke Valley. Easily single digits and below zero Friday morning. Now, things will begin to ease up Friday afternoon and into the day on Saturday as well, where wind chills will rise similarly to today into the teens and 20s by Friday afternoon. And Friday evening will still be in the teens and single digits, but at least not that below 0 point. And this is also a comparison of these next couple of days, this wind forecast that we're looking at. Now, today we saw winds gusting up to even 40, 50, and even in some places 60-mile-an-hour wind gusts. Now, this weekend, we will begin to settle things down. Our wind gusts will top out about that 15-mile-an-hour range. Sustained winds as well will take quite the tumble, which is good. This is after what we've been dealing with these past few days. We'll see about 5 to 10 miles an hour for those sustained winds for next work week. And this is, again, when we are switching up the pattern just a bit. Now, Futurecast timing out these next couple of days as we begin to see the winds easing up this weekend. We will still be dry. High pressure will take control. We'll see a slight atmospheric disturbance, what we call a surface trough, which is basically just a really weak cold front. Very early Friday morning. This will pass just north of us, so that does bring the possibility of some snow showers in those higher elevations of northern portions of West Virginia and, of course, Pennsylvania, seeing very isolated flurries. But snowy precipitation or any sort of wintry precip will not be a problem here locally. Now, Friday afternoon, we stay dry and boring for the first time in a while. We have been very active in terms of that wintry precip in the western slopes of the Blue Ridge, and even though not all of us saw snowfall, all of us did experience those very blustery conditions. So that will settle down Friday evening as well. We'll begin to switch that wind maker off a little bit into the weekend. Saturday, continuing with the dry conditions, just a few clouds out and about throughout the day on Saturday. 7-day forecast. We still have that Weather Authority alert day that will run through Friday morning. I imagine this will be allowed to expire by about lunchtime by the latest on Friday. Our high temperature will reach 36 degrees tomorrow, but again, Friday morning especially, it will not feel like it, and this is when we will need to make sure and bundle up and layer, check in on those pets, check in on the elderly, because these are those still very dangerously cold conditions tomorrow morning. And a note for those pipes as well, outdoor exposed pipes. Conditions like these could see some issues with those as well, so be sure and check on that overnight. Now, Friday overnight into Saturday morning, we will once again drop down into the teens for those air temperatures, bottoming out about 19 degrees. Through the weekend, we keep things dry with nothing more than just a couple of passing clouds, but the next best chance for any sort of rainfall will not arrive until next Monday, and that is also when we will return to southerly flow in the area, that atmospheric prevailing wind direction. That will bring us some warmer temperatures into the 50s and 60s next work week as well, so we do have that to look forward to. Just got to get through this weekend, friends. It will be a chilly one tomorrow morning, especially. Stay safe,